Well, what is it like to be homeless in Madison? That is something most of us will never experience.
But Michael Johnson, the CEO of Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, and his good friend Tim Metcalf of Metcalf Foods found out firsthand. They, along with Will Green, went undercover and spent several days living as homeless people. Michael and Tim are here today to tell us about their incredible adventure, along with Martha Cranley from United Way. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you all for having us.
You guys, I'm telling you, when there is good to be done in this community, you can always be counted on.
Thank you.
What made you decide to do this?
Yeah, we just saw the number of kids coming into the Boys and Girls Club dealing with homelessness issues. The superintendent of Verona had reached out and asked if we would pick up kids from homeless shelters. We had started a special needs fund and we depleted it. And so we found kids were sleeping on the street, sleeping in vans. And so I just wanted to see, as a community leader, to see it up front and see it unstaged. So we decided to go undercover.
So Tim, what'd you do?
Well, we did a bunch of things. We went into a shelter. We also did panhandling, and so we asked people for money, and we had some great experiences of generosity. And what was really interesting for me is the feeling of being homeless, the hopelessness that you have, and then you go from that to feeling this generosity of people. It was incredible.
You didn't go out dressed like this. This is what you looked like out on the streets. Did the homeless folks accept you?
You know what? I think they actually felt bad for us. They were there was a couple of guys that we found in the shelters. They were actually working professionals, putting on shirts and ties and putting on uniforms and going to work. But because they had felonies or because they had bad credit, they couldn't find apartments. So they looked at me and Tim. They said, "Hey, here's a place where you can get some new clothes." Yeah. And they were just trying to be supportive.
Yeah. Interesting.
But Michael, what was your experience like? I know that you were blown away by the generosity of this community.
Yeah, it was very, very humbling. I was in tears. You know, when you see a mother and 4 kids sleeping in a vehicle, this is the United States of America. Nothing like that should ever happen in a community like this. And so we want to try to work with United Way and work with other partners to see how we can pay it forward for her. And then we want to let the general community know, during this spirit of giving, here's how you can give.
And Martha, how pervasive a problem is this in Dane County?
Well, there's about 3,000 people who used emergency shelter last year alone in Dane County. Half of those people are children and their families. And I want to point out that we do know some solutions to this, and one of them is that affordable housing is really critical for this. Affordable housing and supports to help people stay in their homes. So just this past year, Housing First, which is a partnership of United Way, the Road Home, the YWCA, Salvation Army, and Porchlight, have housed 156 families with small children. So it's a step in the right direction. It's a solution. We just need more of it.
You need money.
Absolutely, and it's a United Way campaign season right now, so if people are so inclined to contribute to a solution, Housing First is a great one. They can go to unitedwayofdanecounty.org.
Tim, what did you learn the most and what surprised you the most?
What surprised me the most was what Michael kind of talked a little bit about. I would say about 80% of the people that were in the shelter were transitional. They had jobs, they had cell phones, they were leaving to work. And this was, they just found themselves in this predicament and they were working their way out of it. And then there's 20% that, that have other issues, mental health or alcohol or, drug issues. That was one. And then the other one for me was just the graciousness of this community. And they're wanting to give. And there's so many ways that they can give. The Salvation Army Kettle campaign that's going on right now. Give generously. There's the United Way. There's the Boys and Girls Club. There's Porchlight itself. There's a lot of good works that's being done, and people can put their money there.
Would you ever want to experience this again?
You know what, as long as there's kids that's out there living on the streets, we as a community got to do whatever we can to make sure that we can change their lives and make sure that they live quality lives. So if we have to go out there again, I'll pick up the phone and call Tim and we'll do it.
And it's a complex issue. There's housing issues, there's issues of credit, there's issues of a criminal background and stuff that make people homeless.
Just have to open some eyes, and something like this does that very vividly. Thanks for being with us
Thank
today,
you.
everybody.
Thank you all so much.
It's good to see all of you.